Hey guys, Dylan from Noble Records coming at you with another heavy rotation video. Been a crazy past few weeks. I haven't had a chance to do one. It's been about 3 weeks since my last entry. But I've gotten a lot of cool records since then. We've got Fraction in, so I've got a few different versions of Fraction to show you that are really cool. Some of the stuff I've been listening to, some of it I got recently. I got a really killer batch of records the past few weeks. I'm telling you, some great stuff. First of all, a friend of mine that lives in Australia is a deep record digger. I get a ton of great stuff from him. He's really, really great friend of mine. And he said, hey, is there anything that's Australian or New Zealand that you're looking for? Because I'm going to a record show in Sydney. And I sent him a list of stuff, and I just said, hey, whatever you find, if you feel like it's a good price, grab it for me, And he did. He grabbed a few that I really wanted and needed, and I'm very happy. So, first of all is Luther. This is one from New Zealand. Really great 70s hard rock record. It's not quite as heavy as I usually like them, but this is still a fantastic record through and through. Very, very hard to find around here, but he found it there, which makes total sense. And this is one, I already had this record, but this is Cavas Jute, Wide Open. My copy was hammered. A buddy of mine sold it to me a while ago, and it just was terrible, terrible shape. But it's one of those records, to have in any conditions a grail to get, and this one is just a fantastic record. If you haven't heard this, Cavas Jute, Kahvasgu, Jute, Cavas Jute, Wide Open. It is highly recommended you listen to this record. It's fantastic. But anyways, this is as mint of a copy that you could ever get. It is perfect, beautiful, beautiful. It wasn't cheap, but it's a beautiful copy. And it's one that I just feel like, I've been looking for an upgrade for a couple years. Really great to have. This is another one that I wanted, but it wasn't on my list. And he sent me a text. And while I'm talking to him, I can't remember. I think it was either really like middle of the night or something like that because the time difference is crazy. But this Roy Rutinen, this is a killer record on that MCA label. They only made these in Australia, but it is, if you like Sixto Rodriguez, Cold Fact, you need to give this a shot because it has that same kind of vibe to it. Really, really good fuzz guitar, but fantastic folk. This is one, it's on streaming and everything. I've been listening to it like crazy, even on streaming and then at the house. It's been the past few weeks on very heavy rotation. Very hard record to find. It's a really nice, clean copy. And it's funny, somebody sent me an email about it. Oh, Lord, it was maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and I was kind of in my buying freeze. I just didn't want to buy anything at the time, and they had told me how much they wanted for it, and I didn't know this person, and sir, if you're watching, I greatly apologize. I didn't know this person, and I was like, yeah, I want it, but that seems like a lot, and I think I didn't factor in the Australian versus U.S. Exchange, in Australia, if something's $100 in the U.S. and Australia, it's like 60. Or sorry, it's the other way around. If it's like $100 Australian, it's like 60 US dollars. So I didn't factor all that in, and I kind of let it go cold and forgot about it. Turns out this is the same guy that he bought this from. Was that guy, and the guy emailed me. He was like, "Hey, I thought you didn't want it." I was like, So I can't get every record that comes across my lap, but that one is one I'm glad took a second lap and came back to me. This is one that I did not just get. I've had it for a long time. This is a band called Totty. Totty. It is a fantastic hard rock record. This is like the unofficial, not unofficial. It's the test pressing kind of version. They only did 50 with this cover. This was 1976. I think they put this one out. And then they put out the full version in 1977. I'm going to be making another video about this record. It is out of this world. It's a fantastic story behind the album. Tulsa, Oklahoma. These two brothers, Dennis and Byron Toddy, outstanding, out of this world musicians. They had this band, and they kept striking out locally. They tried to play all these places locally, and they really worked hard to be on the road and all that stuff. And anyways, they had a hard time getting radio play and all that stuff. But because it's a super heavy hard rock album, but it is there's like Christian undertones in it. So it's like a lot of the lyrics are Christian lyrics, but it's not, it's not quite as heavy as Fraction, but the guitar work on it is nuts, So the Christian stations wouldn't play it because they said it was too demonic, and the secular stations wouldn't play it because they said it was too Christian. So it's just kind of in the middle there. There's some songs about UFOs, during that time, around that area, Tulsa, Oklahoma. There was a bunch of UFO lure and all this stuff. So it's a really, really interesting timepiece in that time and space of this record, Toddy. But they got together with some local artists, and a local artist painted this cover for them. So that's where they got the cover. But before that, when they just had these to send around to get radio play and like to be considered for events or whatever. And they only did 50 of these. So I actually got this one first. I bought this maybe 6-8 months ago, something like that, and just been burning it up. I love this record. I had a bootleg of it. They bootlegged it in 2010. I had a bootleg of it forever, and it's just it's a great record. Really, really, really killer. So, you know what? I wasn't going to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this since you're watching my heavy rotation videos and you're a true loyal viewer. We licensed that record, and we're going to be putting it out on the label. So I've not told anybody that yet. So that's in the works. I'm going to talk about it more later, but it's an outstanding record. We got the master tapes. We're doing it at Analog Productions, quality record pressing, all that. It's going to be tip top. Really, really, really excited about it. So anyway, I wasn't going to tell you guys about that, but you wore me down. That's pretty far down the road. We have a couple really killer records coming out down the road. So like the next 4 will be Underground Fire, Dry Water, Yezda Urfa, George Brigman, Jungle Rot. And then I think probably the next 2 will be, I can't tell you everything. We'll tell you more. I've already said enough. You're getting greedy. All right. So as far as like label stuff goes, if you've not heard this is great. This is a band called Short Cross. The record's called Arising. Really great hard rock from Virginia. It's got some Allman Brothers vibes to it. Great record. This is an original. I've had this original. I found it in Virginia a long time ago. But this is an original copy, and I don't even know how much they go for now. Tons and tons of money. But we have an exclusive of it. It's still available on our website. We're doing it through Garrison. It's a really cool splatter vinyl, all that stuff. So that exclusive is on our website now. We have a few that are on there right now that are great records that I highly recommend. That's one of them. This is this Tony Rice. I mean, I always, I listen to Tony Rice sparingly, but when I do, I'm like, man, why don't I listen to this more? Every once in a while, maybe once a year, I'll start pulling some Tony Rice records out and playing them, and I'm like, golly, it's so, so good. If you like Billy Strings, you need to check out, this is where he got it, man. I mean, and he would probably tell you that, from Doc Watson and Tony Rice is like where he's getting his chops from. But these Tony Rice records, especially this one, is top-notch bluegrass as far as I'm concerned. And that's, one thing. Deftones, White Pony. I've been listening to this a lot lately, which is weird, kind of out of my character. This is the box set. I think it's the 20th anniversary box set. This came out a few years ago. We had at the shop, I had ordered so many, and they just didn't sell super well. And so I don't even know. I need to dig into the other LP. I just been listening to the White Pony one. But the Black Stallion one, I don't even know what that's about. I guess that's remixes and stuff. But anyways, I've been after an original of this for a long time. And I almost had one a few months ago, and then it got kind of sold out from underneath me. So if you holding one, let me know. But fantastic. I've not notoriously been into Deftones in the past, but in the past maybe 6 months, it's been clicking with me. I've been really, really enjoying That's all. So anyways, yeah, for a long time, it was just kind of like, I don't really get it, you know. This was our exclusive that we did. Is officially sold out. We sold 1,000 copies in 24 hours of Fraction Moonblood. I'll show you. Many of you that ordered them, they'll be coming in the mail any day now. We've shipped all the single orders, so that's on the red vinyl. Some people ordered it, like if you ordered it with the Short Cross record, Short Cross should be here in the next couple days, like Monday, Tuesday, I'm saying. It's taken a little bit longer than we expected to come from Spain, so that's why if you haven't gotten it yet, if you ordered it with Short Cross, it's coming. Since we got to package them together. But anyways, that's our exclusive of it. And then kind of part of the deal with Daniel, he from Riding Easy, he always treats us right over here at Noble Records. We did the exclusive with him, and he hooked me up with the splatter. I think they only did 100 of these. Somebody just sold one of these on Discogs for like $200. You know, it was available on their website and sold out super fast as well. And then also this is what they call the Die Hard box set, which I think they only did, I don't remember, 100. So mine's number 2 of 100. It's numbered. And it is really cool. It comes with a slip mat, which I'll never use it because it's just too cool. And then like a patch and a sticker and a poster. Look at that patch. That's so sick. And then the vinyls, and I gotta say, man, the way these covers turned out are spectacular. That's the vinyl on it. So, but the way the covers turned out, you know, it took a long time to get them right, you know. And I have an original. I know what they're supposed to look like. That's what they're supposed to look like. I mean, this looks as much like an original, more than any other. I've seen all the reissues. This is the one. I'm telling you, this is the best looking. If you're wanting one that looks and feels like an original, this one looks and feels like an original. Another really cool record I found here is this Eddie Bo, Watch for the Coming. This is some like Louisiana funk. Really, really rare. Eddie Bo, all his records are really rare. He has another one that's earlier than this. It has like a green cover, and that one's kind of a couple $1,000. Really, really rare record. This is one that is also extremely rare. As far as like funk goes, it is a funk grail. I hate to use the word grail. On Reddit, they've been railroading me for overusing the word grail. I don't care. That's what it is. But I found a few sealed copies of this actually, or a friend of mine found them, and they made their way to me. So I have a few sealed copies of this. If you want one, if you're looking for one, they weren't cheap for me, so they're not going to be cheap for you. But if it's, you know, compared to what they usually go for, I'm willing to make a good deal on them. I've got, like I said, I've got a few sealed ones, so I'm down to trade, or I would sell you one. I only have maybe a couple extras now, but it is a killer funk record. I just got some of those. So if you're into that type of thing and if you got something good to trade, send me email. It's all in the links and all that. A friend of mine, Jared, he had this for sale, and we talked back and forth on it. He's like, you know what, I'm gonna come to your shop anyways, and we can do some trading and selling and stuff. Anyways, I ended up buying this from him. It's called It's All Meat. It is an out of this world great Canadian Psych record, extremely rare. It's been bootlegged and all that stuff, but this is an original gatefold in beautiful condition. Yeah, it's an absolute banger. Another one I just got is this Ugly Custard record. I didn't really know a whole lot about it. I'm excited to dig more into it, but it's kind of like a kind of experimental type of, maybe a little bit proggy, a little bit hard, some cool stuff in it. I just got that. I'm excited. A friend of mine was selling some stuff. Also got this one, Gift, Blue Apple. I'm looking for the Gift self-titled one. That one's been on my list, but this is another one that I've been really wanting. Really cool krautrock thing. All right. Speaking of Riding Easy Records, he always hooks me up with some cool stuff. He sent me a Backjack test pressing. Let's see what number it is. Does he have it numbered? No, it's not. But yeah, he sent me a Backjack test pressing. He always tries to hook me up with the test pressings of the stuff I do exclusives of. So he's extremely kind. He also sent me a test pressing of the Zigzags, the new Zigzags record, and then the new Brown Acid record. And then he sent me one of Parchment Farm, which is another exclusive that we did. Lately, we've been like real exclusive heavy. We've gotten just a bunch hit at one time. So we had Backjack, which sold out like immediately. That was in June. Yeah, June. We had Backjack, Cold Sun. Well, I guess that was May. Backjack, Cold Sun. June, we had Fraction, Short Cross, Parchment Farm. Parchment Farm is one of those bands. This album was never released. This is a great, some great recordings from this band from Missouri, early 70s. Hard rock, almost kind of a rural rock thing. I think if you like farm and stuff like that, this is in that same vein. This is our exclusive color. I think we have just a handful of those left on the website. If you hurry, you can get one of the Noble Records exclusive. Yeah, so that's should be all the shop talk I have. I didn't mean to overload y'all with like exclusives and label stuff, but it's just kind of where my head's at right now. This is one I picked up in Austin, and I kind of briefly mentioned it because I didn't know what it was. But it's this Greek like prog record. Akrite, I don't know. Really great record though. If you want to look it up, it's Polydor 2421031A. Because it's not even in English, but really great. It has that like almost Italian prog feel to it, but great synthesizers, really good guitar, like very unique guitar picking type style. But it is a cool one. There's all this chirping. There's a bird that built a nest like right on the other side of this wall, and they've like a bunch of baby birds out there. This is one that came in the shop randomly. It's a Black Sabbath Technical Ecstasy promo copy. It's not a white label, but it's got the pink sticker, so I thought I'd grab it. This is one that's been on my radar for a while. This is John's Children. It's one of the rare titles on White Whale Records. It's a promo copy, super clean, but this is more like, sounds like the early Beatles type beat stuff, you know. But it's a little bit. I don't know. I mean, it's. I can't say it's a little bit more psychedelic. I guess it's a little bit more raw, I think, than the early Beatles stuff. But I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, this was recorded in a studio, but they added like crowd noises afterwards to make it seem like it's a live performance. So it's kind of a weird record, but it's been one that's been on my radar for a while, and I got it. There's a label called Peppermint, and they put out this record called Bull Run. I think it's all the color vinyl versions are sold out for sure, but this is just on black. But they sent me a few records just kind of as a nice thing to do. You know, us labels try to be nice to each other and everything, and they've been around since like the 70s, I think. And they had a studio and label in the 70s, and then I think just recently, I'm shooting from the hip here, but I believe they recently started like pulling much of the stuff out and releasing it and re-releasing things as well. They have some really cool. They have a glass harp record that's really good on that label that they just recently reissued or issued for the first time. I think it's got Phil Keaggy on guitar. It's really killer. But this Bull Run is amazing stuff. Really, really cool, heavy hard rock. Fantastic. And then there's this Rat Race, which I believe I listened to it. It's like a compilation of stuff, kind of. But it's almost like a live performance. It's got the Human Beings, Glass Harp, Morley Gray, Blue Ash. It's got some cool stuff on there. But that's one that they also did. And then there's this one, Left End. So all their stuff is really killer. If you haven't heard of them, they're a really cool label that's doing some cool stuff. There's another one I got in Austin. I've just been listening to it a lot. This is the Finchley Boys. If you have not heard this, listen to it. It's got the best cover of I'm Not Like Everybody Else, the Kinks song. It's got the best cover that I think I've ever heard. Really killer guitar, really tight band, really, really, really good stuff. I love this record. I've been looking for it for a long time, but like certain things, if I'm looking for it, I kind of wait to find it before I really dive in, you know what I mean? And that's one I've heard it in the past, but didn't remember a whole lot about it. And then after I got it, I've been listening to it like crazy. I got another copy of 45,000 Volts by the Ngozi family. I have another copy of this that I'm probably going to sell at our anniversary drop that we do later this year. But this is a nicer copy. It's a bit of an upgrade. Original Zamrock, it was Zambian pressing. I'm only missing one Zamrock record now, and it's like pretty impossible to get, so I pretty much have them all. But yeah, this is a pretty nice copy. Can't complain. This is another one a buddy of mine got from. It's Mary Afiusua, African Woman. It's on this Clover Sound label. Pretty much anything on that I'll grab. This is a really cool record. I love the cover. She's just riding a go-kart. But it's she's singing, and there's some really cool fuzz guitar and stuff like that in it. This is a super rare record, and this one is like super clean. Like they've reissued this. But yeah, it's a fine original. It's insane. This is one I've been listening to. I'm sure you heard of Can Ejibamasi, but this is just one of those records. Lately, it's just been creeping up on me. Like I'll come out in my room and think, what do I want to listen to? And I've played this probably 3 times this week. It's so good. I've had it forever. I've at least had a copy for a long time. I think I got this one about a year ago. It's an original German, but fantastic record. Hourglass is the band that Greg and Dwayne Allman were in before the Allman Brothers. If it weren't for that, I don't know that I'd be really terribly into this record. You know what I mean? It's before Dwayne started playing slide and all that. But it's a decent Psych record. It's not really all that psychedelic though, but you get what I'm saying. It's from that era. But this is like a perfect copy that came in the shop, and I didn't have one, so thought I'd grab it and bring it home. Another one. So we got this collection that's been coming in waves. Like once a week, these people will bring in these crates of Psych records, and they're selling off a family member's collection. And some of them are trash, but most of them are like really, really clean, like cleanest I've ever seen type stuff. Some of them are sealed. And so I've been comparing my copies to those copies and kind of sneaking some home and trading my copies for them. This is just a U.S. Rubber Soul stereo, but it's like the cleanest one I've ever seen in my life. It's incredible. I just sold off my Beatles Mo-Fi box set. One of the viewers on the channel really wanted it, and I never listened to it because it's just kind of a lot of trouble to pull down. And so I'm trying to fill the gaps in my collection of some of the Beatles releases that I never got because I had the box set. So I've got about everything I think I need. But anyways, I didn't have a U.S. Rubber Soul. I had the British one. A friend of mine brought this in. This is the the Spare Change Band. This is a really cool Psych record. I didn't know anything about it. And it's a friend of mine. He's a local dealer, and he brought it in to see if I would flatten it for him. And I flattened it, and it did okay. And then I was like, hey, what do you want for this? So I bought it from him after that. But it's just a cool, weird Psych record, really private press, kind of a strange thing that I got. So in that same Psych collection, there's also a bunch of promos. And so this is a white label promo of Europe 72, and it's super, super clean. So I collect white label promos, all the Grateful Dead stuff. I have 3 different copies of this record. I don't know why. I've got a sealed one, which is crazy. It's got all the stickers and everything on it. And I've got the white label promo. And then I have, there's a reissue that's really good. It's on crazy colored vinyl and stuff. I probably should get rid of the reissue because I'm never going to listen to it. This is one called Crow Music. And this one, sometimes I see it going for $60, and sometimes I see it going for $5. And I don't know why. It is if you can get this on the cheap, it is a really, really killer hard rock record that a lot of people don't talk about. This is a white label promo I also got in that collection. It's super clean. But yeah, this is one worth seeking out. I've had it in the past. I think I purged it a long time ago. And then when this came back through, I think Logan was like, is this a good record? And I was like, yeah, I think it's decent. I haven't listened to it in a while. And we put it on. I was like, oh yeah, that's great. I'm keeping that. So it's one, you see it from time to time. And I think on Discogs it doesn't it doesn't go for a lot, I think. I can't remember. I really can't remember. But it's a lot of times they come up trashed, but it's worth getting if you find one with a good clean copy. Just a few more here, guys. I know it's been a long one. A guy came in yesterday, and he had like a ton of old school 70s, 80s bootlegs, like a ton of Bruce Springsteen, of The Who, Pink Floyd, stuff like that. He had a whole crate, and he watches the channel. Very nice gentleman. But he came in and we did a deal, and I got there's only 3 in the whole crate that I didn't either have or want. But there's 3 that I wanted, is what I'm saying. This is Pink Floyd live in Germany. It's a pretty rare one. I've never had one before. It's not the best, in the best shape, but it's just mega rare type thing. So thrilled to listen to that. And this Ivor wine is one that I've been wanting for a long time, and they just never come up at a reasonable price that, and so that's a great one. And then this is an original Bob Dylan Great White Wonder. It's just all white. It's got this original sleeves in there, but I don't think I cleaned it, actually. I was going to, but I ran out of time yesterday. Anyways, but this is the original Great White Wonder. If you know the story, that's like the first real bootleg. It was the Bob Dylan tapes, this Great White Wonder. All the Bob Dylan fans and stuff, they would trade like tapes and stuff like that from radio recordings, things like that, just different recordings that were not on the albums. And then somebody got together and compiled all the tapes and made the Great White Wonder set. And then it was originally just like this, just plain. And then Trademark Quality, did the Trademark Quality labels and stickers and the stamped covers and all that stuff. So that's like the first iteration of it. Pretty cool. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry for my long rambling entry here. Thank you for your patience. We'll see you guys next time.